Hi, welcome to BohoMystic. My name is Marinelly, and today we're doing Sagittarius's October 2025 reading. I got the decks pulled out that we're going to use. I did a mini meditation, and that was really surreal. When I was pulling the decks to get started for this reading, I saw in my mind's eye an orange, a peeled orange though. And then during my meditation, once I sat down, I started off with what I thought was like a leaf. But then I realized it was a feather. And then it looked like the feather then kind of like morphed and became like a yin yang symbol. Then it kind of morphed back into what I thought was a feather. And then it became really big feathers of like an angel flying. All these images were not in color. They were like in a black and white situation. But then color started seeping in and it was red, like streaking of red. And then like the streaking of red kind of like moved like in an undulated pattern. And I thought, are those sound waves or heat waves that you can see visually? And then I was pulled in further, and then I saw what I thought it was a megaphone, and then I knew they were like sound waves coming out, like circles. I told you it was very surreal. So I'm like, wow, is this fire? Is this the root chakra? All these things are kind of like, flooding my mind at the same time. And as I was thinking them almost instantaneously, I then saw a shower head that was turned on and water started coming down. And I'm like, oh, are you squelching the fire? Are you putting out the fire because it was getting out of hand? I don't know. Then I thought, is there a person underneath that shower? And at first I thought, oh, okay, this is a shower stall with a person underneath. And no, it wasn't a person. It looked like to be the same orange, peeled orange, receiving all the water on top of it, and it blossoms into a sunflower. So, yeah, that's what I got for you, Sagittarius. I think that you guys take the cake for most unique and surreal pre-reading meditation for this month. Absolutely. I still have 3 to go, but I don't think anything's going to beat this. Yeah, so it's funny because I even thought about like meteor showers, and I know that the astrology community and everyone's talking about the meteors. Maybe that's affecting your energy. Maybe it's really pumping up the fire within you. Maybe you're really being activated somehow, and maybe this is telling you that it's maybe too much. You got to be careful that the lid doesn't blow off. That's an interesting way of thinking of it. I want to know what the orange is all about. And I don't know. Because I didn't equate it with the chakras. Maybe that's a huge synchronicity for someone. Vitamin C, maybe it's your health. Oranges are sweet, but they're citrusy and maybe acidic then. Because when that orange opened up and became the sunflower, I saw the segments of the orange opening. You know, when you take a big orange and just start peeling away the segments. So maybe you are doing so much introspection or personal work that you've already peeled away the outer layers, but now you're going really deep. You're breaking the problem down piece by piece, segment by segment. I know that it becomes a sunflower, which is amazing. It's very abundant. Oranges are abundant. And I'm thinking that oranges used to be put in stockings at Christmas time, especially for like the wealthy. I don't know. So let's see if we can piece together and see if any of this comes together throughout your reading. Let's start with your oracle cards and get to the bottom of this, huh, Sagittarius? I am going to start with an astrological deck. How's that? And see what we can get for you. You know, the back of this deck looks kind of like an orange. All right. For Sagittarius, please. Month of October 2025. I can't believe it. We have the full moon in Aries coming up in 2 days as I'm filming this. And I'm feeling it. Bottom of the deck, we have Libra, diplomatic harmony and balance. The yin and yang symbol. We are in Libra season. That feather, or that leaf feather becomes a yin-yang symbol, turning into a feather again. Maybe you're balancing different parts of you that are rising to the surface. Deep introspection, it could even be deep shadow work. You're trying to balance your emotions because we had all that fire, and I did feel like it was kind of, I don't want to say angry, but it felt very intense. And then that's when the shower head appeared and was turned down, like it was dousing the fire. It's like maybe you're about to blow your top and you're trying to figure out how to not let this fire get out of hand. Underneath that, we have Pisces, psychic, intuitive, and dreamy. Absolutely. I know that the moon is going to be who rules Pisces, is going to be extremely influential, I think, on everyone this month. I know that Neptune is going back in retrograde into Pisces, and I think that's going to be revealing a lot that we're going to have to deal with. And you may be highly psychic right now. You may be I feel like you're highly affected right now. That's what I'm feeling. You feel very highly affected by emotions, by your mind, by everything that's going on around you. Maybe you're having difficulty in calming yourself down. One more, no more. Waning crescent moon, surrender, restoration, and trust. Surrendering with the full moon. And I have to do the other one because it was showing. And this is Vesta, inner spark, sacrifice, and devotion. My dear Sagittarius, I feel like you've been feeling it. I feel like you're drained but activated, right? The dichotomy of the yin and yang. And you're trying to find the silver lining in things. You're trying to stay positive. Libra, balancing. I think you're doing a heroic job of trying to keep yourself sane right now. What is going on, Sagittarius? All right. So let's get one of these cards. For Sagittarius, month of October 2025. Please, Spirit. Bottom of the deck, we have stand your ground. I need my glasses. Let's see. Standing your ground is an empowering, confidence-building action to take from time to time. Now is the time when you need to stand your ground. You know you can do it, and you know that by doing so, you will be the victor. Yeah, that's the balancing. It's like not letting yourself be defeated. Like you feel like you're going to be pulled under one way or the other, and you're just like trying to not wobble, or you're trying to not let either the fire win or the water win. Grounding probably would be very beneficial for you. Grounding outside in nature, meditating, keeping that introspection going, because I do feel like you've been doing a lot of that. Maybe you need vitamin C. Maybe it's as simple as that. Maybe you're feeling under the weather. Maybe the stress is making you feel under the weather and you need to eat oranges or fruits, or maybe some of you are feeling other health issues that you're craving sweets. I'm not a doctor nor a nutritionist, but if you feel that that's something you need, you may want to seek medical advice or professional advice. Are you trying to like take care of your body and your physical ailments by yourself and not let anybody help you, or not seek out a professional when it comes to something? Or maybe you're depleted in some of these vitamins and minerals I just heard. Maybe it's time to see a doctor. I'm going to take a look underneath here. Self-sabotage. When you learn to get out, let's see if I can read this. When you learn to get out of your own way, there will be no stopping you. Most of the time, it's not others who prevent you from achieving your true goals. It's that inner voice that derails those carefully woven plans. And that is so true. There's a sunflower in here. In the middle of the sunflower looks like an orange. And there's like these orange balls around. Okay, that is something. That is something for someone. And if you're resonating with that, this reading is for you, but it's also calling attention to something in your life that only you will know what it is, or for you to open your eyes and see what's happening in front of you, or acknowledging a need that you have. Wow, look at that. They look like oranges. And there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 5 orange balls in this bouquet of flowers. I think this is what you are trying to prevent. That's what it is. Maybe this is a reading for you to learn what to prevent and what to work on and keep an eye on in the month of October for you. Let's get a couple of these. Sagittarius spirit. All right. Creation. This is spirit. This is crown chakra. With that psychic under Pisces. She looks like she's trying to manipulate the ether around her, like all this smoke. And she's holding an orb. And with the other hand, she's like this, like kind of like, she's clearly aware of that smoke, that aura around her, and she is trying to manipulate it. Maybe this is the magician in you. Maybe this is you trying to access and control your environment. Access all the elements so that you can create the life that you want, or create the environment that you want, or maintain an environment that you are trying to maintain and not let fall apart. There is an aspect of control here. the whole yin yang, the balancing. Maybe you feel like that's all you're trying to do is hold things together, right? I saw all that fire, then I saw the heat waves or the sound waves. It's like there's an overload of the elements. Maybe you're trying too hard to control things. And that's why you feel burned out, or that's why you feel, what did I say in the beginning? That's why you feel so activated, so, I don't know if the word's jumpy, but very alert to everything that's around you. Or very sensitive to everything that's going on around you. Instincts. Again, crown chakra. You're trusting your instincts. But if you look at this wolf, he has 3 faces. And now I'm thinking of the fates in the Wheel of Fortune who control fate, right? Wow, this is, oh, and it's breaking here? Completion. And that's this, and that's the sacral chakra. With the orange. Maybe you have to let something end. Experience that death of something and let it go. And you're trying to keep things together and it's just not working. It's like you're trying, what I was saying here, or what I was trying to get to was, before I saw that, was the fates. Maybe you're trying to control the Wheel of Fortune. Maybe you're trying to control the fate of everything around you, and you can't. The wheel is going to turn when it's going to turn. And maybe you're trying to control every aspect of that instead of just allowing for something to happen, even if it's a death, allowing it to happen, for the cycle to complete itself. And maybe all of this is coming up during this time very strongly because of this full moon, because of all these aspects of the meteors and Mars and Aries at play with the full moon, and all these things that are happening right now astrologically that are just raining down on us. And maybe you're just being called to let things happen the way they're going. Let the chips fall where they may. I just heard. Let the chips fall where they may. Interesting. I'm going to miracle, destiny. Again, letting destiny play out. You can't control that part. One more. Joy, hear the sunflowers, and perfection. Accepting that even if you want to, you're never going to be perfect. Even if you do everything in your power to keep those 3 bean bags in the air, right? Juggling. Eventually they're going to come down. Your efforts will never be so perfect that they will trump fate. Wow. Okay. This is super serious, and I can feel that I don't feel that you're sad. I don't feel that you're angry. I feel that you're trying your best to keep things afloat because you want them to work out really, really badly. All right, I'm going to pull a few of these. This is my deck, the Sunlit Path. My shipment has been sent out, so I should be getting them soon. This is a sample deck. More information will be coming. Okay. For Sagittarius, please, Spirit. Bottom of the deck, we have ancestral ties. Yeah, this may definitely be dealing with family. The call to break ancestral karmic ties. Wisdom waiting to be accessed, faithful companion, and powerful protectors. I definitely think that you're being protected. I mean, we did have the angel in the vision, which was beautiful. But I do think that this is you breaking some kind of cycle, a karmic cycle. This is it's for me, it's the way I can describe it is learning a lesson. Truly learning and accepting, and learning this lesson by truly accepting that this is the lesson that needs to be learned. Not, yeah, I see the value of the lesson. I see how maybe breaking the cycle would be great. You know, I know that it would, you know, it would give me other opportunities, but I don't want to. That's the lesson. Accepting the lesson of accepting a lesson. Not because you want it to be the lesson, and not because you weighed all the pros and cons for that lesson and then agreed with the finding that that's the lesson. No, it's just accepting that's the lesson because that's the lesson, and you have no control over that lesson. I hope that you're following me on that. There's a stubbornness here. I appreciate that could be good for me, but I want this still. So thank you, but no thank you. There are times in this world when that thank you, but no thank you is still going to end up happening, even if you said no to it. I wouldn't be surprised seeing a Tower card. You are so capable, Sagittarius, obviously. You are juggling and maintaining a status quo and keeping a fine balance and fine-tuning it every single step of the way. And that's amazing, but that's also exhausting, and it's also not needed. And I think if you take a step back and look at it from a different point of view, or take a step back and see how it's affecting other areas of your life, you'll realize it's not worth all this exertion that you're doing. Underneath here, we have Taurus as, oh, you're very defensive. I knew, that's what I was feeling. Warrior spirit, defense while taking action, reactive power, change, conflict, challenge, pushing through, and yang energy. All I saw is that you were pushing against what I was saying. You're being defensive over what I was saying. I understand that. My reading is for you. It always has your best interest at heart. That is what I ask Spirit for. And that's also what I ask of your team for. So my intention is always light and love, and to be a betterment in your life in some way, shape, or form. So, yeah. The Tower is sandwiched between Fox Spirit, which is strategic, playful, adaptable, and swift action, and the Moon card. And all I'm seeing here, I love my Tower card. It's my card. It's my deck, of course, but I do love it. You know, it's this vulture looking and ready to be able to find some gifts in the aftermath of this storm. But all I'm seeing here is this wolf calling in this vulture. This moon calling in the Tower. And I think that this moon, this full moon in a couple days from now on the 6th, is calling in your tower. But the amazing thing about it is that you're the fox. You're going to be able to be adaptable and figure out quickly what it is that you need to do, or accept it quickly. Finally accept the lesson. This is where the current's taking me. I'm not going to keep swimming against the current. I'm going to allow it to take me wherever it's taking me. That's what I'm feeling. With this AWAS, I definitely see, hun, I think you're ready. I think that you are ready to break whatever cycle this is. I think you're ready to accept the changes that you've been keeping at bay. You're going to eventually be like, all right, let the wave come in and wash away that sandcastle that you were meticulously building or keeping together. That's what I think. And I think that's awesome. Right? Oh, like the shower head turning on. You're going to accept it. You're going to accept the shower. You're going to accept that cleansing of whatever this wound is. You're going to accept the cleansing of whatever this is. Interesting. Now that's really interesting. All right, I'm going to do one of these emotion cards. I've used this deck for all the readings, and I really been enjoying it. Can I get a card, please, for the month of I almost said December, Sagittarius. How funny. That's Sagittarius season. Maybe in December you're going to have, I don't know, a wonderful byproduct of what's going on. Interesting. All right. Now, bottom of the deck, we have glad. Feeling pleased, happy, and gratified. Absolutely. I think that you're going to be pleased, happy, and gratified once you stop holding up a crumbling infrastructure around you. This ties in really well with your mid-month reading for September and the September reading, where you were kind of living in a Seven of Pentacles world, and maybe things just did not work out the way that you wanted them to, or the growth wasn't there. All right. You know what? I'm going to also get you some charms like I did for everybody else also. We got the number 16. So October 16th, maybe that's something for someone. Keep an eye out for the 16th of October, but also that boils down to a 7. And then we have this little shopping bag that says, not everything that weighs you down is yours to carry. I love this charm. And it's so true. How much of our baggage is not our baggage, and we still carry it for others? Maybe it's time, again, you holding up an infrastructure that's crumbling around you, and you realize it's not your baggage. Like you didn't build it. You don't need it. Maybe you're holding it up for someone else, to protect someone else. And maybe it's time for you, again, to just lay down that bag, right? Lay down what's weighing you down, because it's not yours to carry. It's someone else. And if they pick it up or if they don't, has nothing to do with you. If it stays there, it rots. It's on them. It's not on you. And this is also you taking responsibility for other people. Wow, Sagittarius. What is this? I keep asking what is going on. I haven't been able to scratch the surface fully yet. All right. Current energy for the month. We're going to current energy, past energy that's influenced it, what you should let go, what you should focus on, and where are you headed. Bottom of the deck, we have interference with the 8 of Swords. I love this card. It's piercing. It's all these swords piercing the old television. And of course, all those swords are going to mess up the transmission, of what you're viewing or what you want to view or what you want to experience or what you want to see. And I kept seeing those radio waves or sound waves or heat waves. And then at the end it was, what did I say, a megaphone with the circle sound waves coming through. Maybe your team and your ancestors and your guides are like on a megaphone trying to reach you, but because you are not willing to see and you're not willing to take off that blindfold that would be typically in an RWS tarot card in the Eight of Swords, you're not hearing, or you're not following their guidance, or you're not seeing the warning beforehand. I think that something is getting lost in translation, and you got 2 or 3 crown chakra cards. And maybe there's a blockage right now to your intuition. Maybe there's a blockage to receiving what is being sent your way, because you're not willing or wanting to see what's in front of you. That something in your life is not working out the way it should, or something that you thought would be holding up isn't holding up anymore. And you're like, nope. It's like putting your fingers in your ear and saying, nope, I'm not gonna, I don't want to hear what you're saying. Remember what I said about the lesson. It's like, yeah, that's a great lesson. I agree. I can see that. I definitely can see it be great for someone, but not for me right now. And your team, your ancestors, they're like trying to communicate with you, but I feel like you're unwilling to take those swords out of this TV, right? You're self-sabotaging. We had self-sabotaging under the deck too. Instead of stopping yourself from self-sabotaging yourself, maybe this is you self-sabotaging. Maybe this is you not willing to hear or see what's not up to snuff in your surroundings. I have to repeat, this could be you not wanting to acknowledge your health. I have to say that because of the oranges. There's an avoidance. I just saw a person swinging in a hammock between 2 trees. Whilst that would be a really nice image, what I'm getting is, why are you in a hammock when everything is falling down around you? There's something that you can do here. You can empower yourself. It's like you're in a hammock with everything burning around you. You're just unwilling to see it. You're not willing to acknowledge it. You're in denial of something. Underneath there we have satiety with a 10 of Cups. And swiftness with the 8 of Wands. You see how this wheel is segmented by all those wands, like the orange was? You're in denial by saying that something is very fulfilling that is no longer fulfilling. It's self-denial. It is. It's denial. And then that, of course, becomes self-sabotage. And I don't think that you want this to be true. Of course not. I think that you're working really hard to just keep things afloat and make good on promises and things like that. You know, like when we are in a relationship, we want it to work at all costs. Or when we commit to something, we want to follow through on our commitments. But sometimes we find ourselves lying to ourselves of how much we truly want something, or how much we truly love something or desire something, or how much we don't need something. Because I think this could also be something is lacking and you're saying, it's okay, I don't need it. You know, Scorpio had a little bit of this in their reading. It's like resigning yourself to, this is as good as it gets and I'm okay with it. When in reality, you're really not okay with it. Or in reality, it doesn't really make you as happy as you're saying it does. Something like that. And I think with this Eight of Wands, it's coming at, that realization is coming at you super fast. This is the meteor. This is the fire that was raining down that I saw. And it's like, you know, hitting you like a ton of bricks. And I think that's going to be the catalyst for you to change, for you to move forward, or to allow the change to happen, or to give yourself permission to pull out those swords, take off that blindfold, and actually state what you want or start living the life that you want. Making hard decisions. Oh my goodness, we have the Five of Pentacles with worry, and they're in a doctor's office. Yeah, if you've been putting off tests, if you've been putting off going to the doctor for blood work, if you've been just putting things off like that, I think it's time for you to follow through in that. I think that this is about self-care and self-love, and you need to put yourself first. You absolutely do. There is something with the oranges that has to do, I think, with health. I've been saying that throughout this entire thing. I think it's time for you to be checked out. Yeah. And I think you know that. If this part resonates for you, you know it. You know it's time for you to take your health maybe more seriously than you have in the past. All right. Wow. I don't know how much we've already filmed, but this is an interesting one. It may be that you just don't want things to get so serious so fast, or you don't want, you kind of just don't want to have to deal with problems and people's emotions. Unfortunately, I think this month is going to be all of that. All of that and above. So let's take a look at your cards. Dream talk, absolute. I am telling you, you are being spoken to. You are trying to be reached by your higher self, your angels, your ancestors, your spiritual team, your guides, your intuition, your inner self. If you don't believe any of the other things, your inner self is like your gut is trying to talk to you. There's no question. And tell you, hey, it's time to let something go. It's time to move forward. It's time to accept something. It's time to surrender to something. It's time to listen to your needs. It's time for you to stop sacrificing your happiness, something like that. Dream talk. Your subconscious constantly and subtly speaks through your dreams. It's just one of the many ways in which your soul and those here in the spirit world can reach out and communicate with you through signs, symbols, messages, and more. Absolutely. Now I understand, like, all the, like I said, like heat waves or the transmissions and the sound waves in my vision. You know, spirit is, I forgot to do this one. Spirit is amazing the way they speak. Spirit is amazing. The universe is absolutely amazing in how it speaks to us. Here I started out saying how your meditation was so weird, right? Surreal. And I just didn't think I could be, I kind of thought I would have difficulty in piecing it together, and I have, but it's not impossible, because spirit, the universe, was giving me everything I needed to know. I just had to realize and put it together in a way that only I can, because I'm the one that's giving you this reading. So that's what spirit is doing with you. That's what your subconscious is doing with you. That's what your ancestors, and again, your higher self is trying to do with you. They're trying to guide you, but I think they're trying to do it, like, I think they've turned up the volume big time though with you. And you're still not hearing them, right? With the interference. But it's self-imposed. And I hate to say that, Sagittarius, but it is. It's like you are not wanting to see what is right in front of you. And you can't control, and I'm going to go back to my original part of this reading. You can't control destiny. You can't control fate. You can't control the karma. You can create new karma moving forward, but you can't control the karma that's already been established. And that's an 8, and then you have the 10 of Cups, and then the 8 of Wands. You're at the tail end of this cycle. You are finishing up this cycle, and your team's like, hey, you're almost there. Keep going. Don't stop. Amazing. So I forgot to pick this card up. And Jupiter, once you do this and you hear and you actually allow what's happening to you, the expansion will flow through. The expansion will come through. Again, I got that wave in my Tower card. It's like Jupiter will come through, wash away, cleanse, and leave you the gifts that it wants to leave you, that it can't just yet. Optimism, growth, and opportunity. Yeah, you have opportunity knocking at your door. You just need to answer the door. I love that. Abundance and passion. Wow. Solar and again, sacral chakras. This abundance is pretty amazing. So it's a story about how coins have fallen into the grates over time. There's an abundance right underneath your feet, right? And essentially, this man, this person on this side, sees that abundance, but because of poor choices, he really hasn't been able to figure out how to achieve that abundance. And then this little girl on this side, with her perspicacity, that's an interesting word, with her creative, optimistic self, optimism, figures out how to get that money, those coins that are that have fallen in that grate. And that's the abundance. It's you need to help. The abundance is there, right? Jupiter is here. Wow, amazing. Jupiter is here. Jupiter is the abundance. You just need to decide, are you going to be creative and work towards it? Or are you going to allow your self-limiting beliefs, talk, self-sabotage, self-denial keep you away from it, pull you further and further away from the abundance? It's amazing. That grate on the ground is that door that I was talking about. That's all that's holding back this abundance. But she's clever enough, and she allowed herself to think outside the box and accept the fact that the grate will not be moved, will not change. And she figured out how to get those coins, get that abundance. And this man decides to walk away and just accept the fact that he will never be able to get those coins. He goes back to his life the way it is, and it's like, I'll just keep doing what I'm doing, and that's the way it's going to go. I know it's a little on the nose, but I think this card is these two cards together is quite clever. It's like the little girl. Very clever. Then you have passion here. I know the story behind this card, but I'm not seeing it that way. I'm seeing this as, again, youth and a mature person. Again, the benevolence of the young to the old. And I'm getting, like, do you think you're too old for something? Do you think that your time has passed to pay attention to your passion, to your desires, to your needs? Are you sticking with something because you're too old to change, or that you'll never find something, like, let's say if it's a relationship, or if it's a job, or are you just accepting it and not allowing anything to change, or keeping up like the charade of something because you're afraid that you are past your prime, or you've already put so much time in, you're kind of stuck with it, or you're too old to start again. There is something here about age, about not seeing yourself as potentially as lucky as you were in the past now. So you would rather keep your status quo instead of risking it for further happiness, for further love, for further passion. That abundance is being offered to you. It is clear the abundance is here for you. I think it's you needing to make the decision to go after it and to accept it into your life. Now, what that entails is something that you're going to have to accept with it, though. You can't put your terms and your caveats to what is being offered to you with Jupiter. You can't, it's not like you can say, thank you, but I don't want this part. If you have to give up something and surrender something in order to get it, you're going to have to surrender something to get it. And that's the lesson, I think. That is the lesson. Wow. Then you have the number 33. All things are possible. Compassion, guidance, inspiration, and divine intervention. This is divine timing. This is your path. This is a life path number. Heightened intuition. Yeah, you need to crank up your intuition, and you need to start listening and picking up what they're saying. You are being so highly guided, and you will. October is going to be intuition on steroids if you allow it. If you turn on the radio, forget about even cranking it up, or no, just turn on the radio. Take the swords out of the transmitter and let the information flow. Call to serve and uplift the collective. Absolutely. Oh, temperance. Divine timing. And Sagittarius, your card. This is on your life path. This is a life lesson that needs to be lived and experienced and surpassed. This is you finding and putting yourself back on your dharmic path. Absolutely. This is cycle breaking and path forming and path completion. Wow. This is also your divine timing. I think the timing is now. I think this is like I said, you are looking at 8s and 9s and 10s. You're at the end of this. The timing is now. October is the time for you to start accepting and moving towards these changes. And I think it all starts with you acknowledging your true desires, your true passions, your truths. Your truths. This is spirit. This is your guide. This is your angel saying, hey, this is about you. This is for you. It's very auspicious coming out in your own reading. This is you becoming empowered, or this is the call for you to become empowered. Are you going to answer that call? I'm going to read a bit of this. Oh, and I love it with the angel wings on here. Amazing. In the water. I love it. Associated with Sagittarius. I understand. You are being willed to understand. Alchemy, divine timing, integration, and alignment. I think it's you reviewing everything and seeing what is aligned with what is aligned with your goals in life. What is aligned with your desires and passion in your life? What's aligned with your needs? Physical needs, emotional needs, spiritual needs. And that's the direction I think you should be going. Time of reflection, compromise and patience, moderation and period of adjustment, gradual changes. I do think this will be a gradual change. Rather, I do think that it has been a gradual change. You're finally coming to a meeting point to surrender and let go of things that don't feed your soul anymore, feed your health anymore. And I think it's going to be a slow beginning to a new cycle. I think that the universe is trying to bring things at a pace that's palatable for you, because I think it was coming at you so hard and so fast that you were overwhelmed, right? Agitated was the word that I kept using in the beginning, with all that fire raining down on you. And then the water to kind of douse out those flames or douse out that water. I think that you're alchemizing, right? You're balancing everything that's coming at you so that you are not feeling pressured and pushed beyond your limits to do this. Oh my goodness. Then we have resigned. We have resigned, bored, and hilarious. Feeling like you've completely given up on everything. Bored, when you feel annoyed and restless because you don't have anything to do. And hilarious. Something or someone is very funny and causing you great merriment and laughter. I think that you are finally coming to the point of being resigned that things have to change, that you don't want certain things in your life anymore, that you want more, right? That things may actually be boring in your life right now. A relationship may be boring for you right now. And no matter what kind of happy face you put on, you know deep down you're not happy. It's not fulfilling anymore for you. So what are we looking at for the energy of the month of October? Therapist, Queen of Cups. Wow. Some of you may actually be in therapy. And some of you actually may think about starting therapy or actually divulging. So the therapist doesn't necessarily have to be a therapist. The Queen of Cups can be someone in your family, someone that you love, a friend. I felt like I needed to switch. I felt like I needed to turn the flame. So going back to this, I think that you are ready to divulge your inner secrets, your inner sanctum to someone, or that there is a need for you to find someone to hear you out, be a sounding board. And therapy, of course, is a great way to accomplish that. I think that this is you opening up to your truth. And this may be just with yourself. You can be the Queen of Cups, or you could be searching for and meeting with a Queen of Cups in the month of October. It's like starting the ball rolling on you making these next steps happen. Finding a crutch or a support to help you make these tough decisions. So what influenced this Queen of Cups? Strife, the Five of Wands. Yeah. I mean, this is your environment. This is what you've been dealing with. I think that I love the way that they also depict it as a baseball game. You know, I think that you have been jostling things in your life that once were fun and fulfilling and are just no longer fulfilling anymore. Like the game became soured. The friendly competitiveness has become soured. The back and forth between those in your life or the circumstances in your life are no longer stimulating. They now are a burden on your life. So what is it that you should let go of in the month of October? Wow. Justice. This is crazy. And you had Libra here. This is what you should let go of. I now understand this. This is what I was saying in the beginning of the reading. And now I understand why it came out. And it wasn't that you were doing it well. It's because you're balancing and you trying to keep everything, you trying to keep all the balls in the air, and you accepting things that you don't want because you think it's fair and it's what you had to do and they're your commitments, and all this balancing that you've done is not fair. You may think it's fair and it's what you should be doing, but it turned out to be a form of self-sabotage to yourself, a self-denial to your own needs, because it doesn't make you happy. Maybe it's fair to everybody else, but it's not fair to you. Or maybe everyone else in the end is benefiting from it, but you're not benefiting from it. Yeah, Sagittarius, there is something here about let the balls fall. What I said is like, let that wave come in and just dismantle what it needs to dismantle and rebuild. And you're not too old, right? With the other cards, you're not too old. You're not past your prime. You know, a path to love and a path to health and a path to self-love starts with the first step. Brick by brick do you build those roads again. And you know what? In the end, Sagittarius, you're the only one that has to decide if you're worth rebuilding those roads for or not. No one else can decide for you. This is tough love. This is a very tough love reading. It's funny because when I came in here and I did my pre-reading rituals, you know, I asked to be of great service to the collective today. And I feel like your team has come in so strong. And I feel like them being on that megaphone to you has like been turned on me. Yeah, they're just coming. It's very forceful of what they're trying to say to you. So what should you then focus on in the month of October? The Fool, starting. Youth again, right? Starting again. You can be the Fool at any time in your life. You can start again at any time in your life. It's allowing yourself to even entertain, but it all starts with you allowing yourself to entertain the idea that you want more or that what you have no longer makes you happy. That is the first step. If you can get there, you can then get here. You can do this. I just feel like there's so much hesitancy on your part and disbelief that you can do this on your part. It's like you feel like you're being forced. You feel like your hand's being forced with what's happening in your life. Wow. I'm going to clarify that one for you. For the Fool, please. Virtue, the Three of Wands. Wow. It's a firefighter on a really tall ladder in the fire. It's going through the fire. You feel, what did I say? You feel forced to do this. I literally was going to say you're like a kid being pulled, kicking and screaming to do something. But I didn't want to offend you. And here, this firefighter, they're saying, find the courage to walk through the fire. Find the courage to find out what's beyond the fire. And it's the virtuous path. It's the path for you. You're destined to walk. That's funny. You're destined to walk the plank. You're destined to be the fool, right? You're destined to be the fool once again. And depending on where you are in your life, it's like you don't want to. And for some reason where you find yourself in your life now, you're like, I don't want to be the fool. I don't want a new cycle. I am fine. I will just work with this. I will keep what I have. I don't want to be the fool again. I don't want to have to start something over again. That is what I'm feeling. That is exactly what I'm feeling. Let's see where you're heading. Let's see where you're heading, hun. The Ace of Discs. You're doing it. You're heading towards a new beginning. You are headed to a new beginning. I did say December erroneously a bit ago. Maybe December something's going to happen, or you'll have the epiphany, or your therapy's going to work, or it's going to be something like enough is enough. I've realized, right? I finally resigned myself to the fact that I'm not happy. I'm not happy saying that I'm not happy because this person's crying, right? This little emotion is crying. I'm not, you're not happy that you're not happy. It breaks your heart. It makes you sad, but you finally accept that you have to move on from whatever this is, or you have to move towards something that in turn leaves something behind. And I'm so sorry. I really am. I really, really am. But you have a new disc. You have the Ace of Pentacles. You have a new beginning waiting for you. You're being given a new opportunity at life. You're being given an opportunity to plant the seed in the best nutrients to move forward, to give you to produce what it is that you do want in your life, hon. This is like Atlas. It's going to feel, wow, I'm saying this, it's going to feel like you're carrying the world on your back. I think this decision to start again and to move forward in a new direction, in this new beginning, is going to feel so heavy, and you're going to feel so burdened by it. When this would be so welcomed by so many others, I think this is not as welcomed for you. Maybe this decision is going to be taken out of your hands, and this beginning will be forced upon you in some way. This new beginning will kind of be thrust upon you in some way. I'm going to clarify that too. Fortitude. This is the Nine of Wands. All this fire. I think that the fire is going to be raining down. It's uncomfortable. It's going to be uncomfortable. I feel like it's going to be uncomfortable for you. Yeah, let's do one more. The Five of Swords. Well, I've been getting some really, really strong readings for everyone. Taurus had a very difficult one also. Yeah, I think that a lot of readings and people have been caught up in the fact that it was going to be a really bountiful October, but I actually think it's going to be. I agree, it's going to be very bountiful. I just think that getting to the bounty is going to be difficult. I don't think it's a happy-go-lucky month for most people. I don't. I think that there's a lot of drudgery. That's the word that we need to get through to achieve our abundance, to achieve our bounty. You know, he has the weight of the world on him as the Ace of Pentacles. You may feel a lot of expectations and demands on you of perfection, right? With this new beginning. Or you may feel very judged or under the spotlight to do something good with this seed, with this pentacle. Like, what is she going to do now? How is he going to make this any better? Or what's he going to, or this new beginning is going to have a lot of growing pains. That's what it is. This new beginning is going to have a lot of growing pains. And those growing pains are a pain in the butt. But once you get past this new beginning, you get past those growing pains, you become more and more adept. You become more and more confident in yourself. And you become better and better at what you do. And that's when you start seeing the flourishment, right, of what it is that you're doing. So, my dear Sagittarius, whilst this new beginning that you're headed towards may or may not be of your making, will have a lot of ups and downs to get to, and will have its own set of growing pains. You are being led very clearly by your team for this new change, for this new growth, for this new opportunity. And I truly think it's on your path with number 33. It's a master number. This is divinely guided. This is harmony and this is creation. What it is that you're going to be birthing next is going to be beautiful. But I think it's going to be laborious. If I continue with the birthing analogy, I think it's going to be a long delivery. But in the end, you're going to be very happy, very blessed. And you're going to see all the benefits outweigh all the pain that you endured. You are going through an enormous metamorphosis. And I think we often gloss over the fact that it's a death and rebirth and that there's pain associated with that. And I can't gloss over that because it's evident here. And I think that's what Spirit wants you to know. That even though you are experiencing pain this month, even though you're going through a lot of growing pains and admitting and coming to big realizations regarding your life, please know there is a light at the end of the tunnel, that you are surrounded by those that love you and that are guiding you every single step of the way, because they are. All right, till next time. Bye.